and roll weekend.
Burgers, better with Pepsi.
Welcome to another episode of Schuck on a Truck, the Zoom edition. I'm Muddy River Sports editor Matt Schuckman. Unfortunately, still not back on the tailgate of the truck, but that's okay because my guest this week is coming to us from Florida. He's a Hall of Famer, a champion, and a pretty good golfer at that too. Luke Guthre, thanks for taking time to hang out with me.
I would rather be on the bed of the truck, but this is perfect. I love catching.
Either on the bed of the truck or on the golf course, just hanging out.
Yeah, either one. That would be perfect.
We've done that a time or two.
Yes, many times. Many times.
It was weird. I was sitting here I was getting prepared for this, and I was thinking back, and it's like, good Lord, I've covered your career now. Well, I've covered your entire career, but I was thinking back, it's been 20 plus years.
It is crazy. The years are piling up. Like I'm about to hit my 10 year this June from out of college, and it's just like, wow, I'm getting old. Like, what the heck? Like, shape up and do something here. But like, yeah, it's been crazy. Shoot, we've been working together. It seems like you said, for 20 plus years, and it's been a fun ride, and it's not over.
Well, come June will be the 10-year anniversary of the trip to Memphis.
Yeah,
for the pro debut.
Yep.
It was funny. It's been 14 years since you won your second state championship.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, but if and at that time, we were in Bloomington.
Yep.
And I made the comment, I'll be there the day you make your pro debut. And your parents remember that because they gave me a Christmas gift a couple years ago with a picture of us from Memphis with that quote engraved on it.
That's pretty cool.
It was really cool.
I didn't know that. That's
back then. At that moment, did you truly believe you would be playing pro golf?
I was just like, so like, and I feel like in the moment, like, in a good way, I was just a kid from Quincy, just enjoying golf, enjoying competing, like really just focused on the thing in front of me. Like, not that I'm some mental guru. It's just like, I think like ignorance was like kind of the winning motto for me a little bit. Like looking back, you just like, oh, I'm going to go play golf today here. I'm going to try to shoot the best score I can. Yeah. And that's kind of the mentality, like looking back, like I had, if you like sat me down and asked me, yes, I believed I would eventually be good enough to do it, but like had no clue what that path looked like, how soon that would be. Never like really put that to thought. Like I was going to Illinois and I was going to go try to, I feel like I was good enough to really be a great college player at that moment. So I had improvement to do. And that was where my head was at that moment. So I was, when I first really like knew like, ooh, I have a chance, like a real chance, was probably like my fall junior year in college was when I was like, I'm trending good enough.
Yeah.
Like now sustainably good enough, that's debatable, but my good is good enough. So will this work out? Let's see.
It's been a pretty good run so far.
Yeah, it's obviously I wish it would have been like a little more smoother and good, but like, if you look back, there's been a lot of good moments and stuff, and I know I'm actually better today potential wise than I've ever been, but it's just about realizing it and doing it every day.
You were able to play this fall in the Korn Ferry Tour finals. Obviously got through the Q qualifying to get to the finals, but had success there. How much does that motivate you for next year, knowing that you played good golf at the end of this year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd say halfway through this year, just kind of, it's been a tough go and just struggling with the feels of the game, and just like, it's beyond frustrating because, I mean, I've played good golf. I know what it looks like. It's not like you're shooting 76s. You're shooting one under to one over, and it's just not good enough. Yeah. And, but in the course of trying to go shoot 4 under, you risk shooting 80. It feels like you're just not there, and you know it.
Yeah.
And it just couldn't get a feel for the game like I normally. Some things that just were, I didn't have to question. They were always there. Was kind of the issues. And yeah, so it's beginning last year or halfway through, kind of just decided to go on a search just to get like feel, but simplify, just play the game, get the feel back, remember what I felt like in the little nuances, and like the wrist at the top of the swing, feeling the club face, what it feel like at impact, and just go on a search for that and try to simplify, not think about where this needs to go and that needs to go necessarily. Like, let's hit the ball. What's it feel like at impact? Let's recreate this. Let's go. And made, I don't know, three, 4 cuts, which sounds stupid. It's like almost embarrassing to say, like, I made 3 cuts out of 10 events, like, woohoo. But I mean, it has to start somewhere. And like, it just was starting to be like a little more like, it felt like the process started, like, it's like, okay, like whether I get out of this funk or not, still up for debate, but like I started something, and it kind of went to second stage, and shot 1 over in that first round. It was just sloppy, typical golf I've been playing. Like, you birdie home, bogey the next. Like, you're just like, come on, like, you got to get going. Like, this doesn't, you don't have to birdie the next hole, just like, don't bogey. Like, so you got a par 5 coming up, and like all of a sudden it feels like you're even when you're better to be 2 under. It just feels like a 2-shot swing almost when you do that stuff. But yeah, so just then play well those next 3 rounds when I had to.
Yep.
Was very encouraging. And then and like the weird encouraging thing at finals was I was playing bad, like the week leading up and like that whole time there. And like the positive I take, it's so frustrating because like it's not like I wasn't trying to play good, and like I still don't quite get why that happens. But my probably C game like found a way to like earn myself some starts this year. So it's like the positive is, you're good enough when your C game can get close. It obviously isn't getting where I want to be, but like I know how to put the ball in the hole. If I can just start replicating shots like I did in 19 for a little bit, like it happened quick.
Do you harken back to those high school days a little bit when you mentioned earlier the ignorance of, hey, let's just go play and shoot the best score I can? Do you try to get back into a little bit of that mindset of, let's just go have fun and go play?
That's funny you mentioned that. Like, not necessarily like yes and no. Like, I haven't like focused on the mental side of that like as much. Like, I know what I felt like, and yes, I would love to play golf from that spot of just like kind of not know what the consequences are and just go play golf. I can do your best, and like that's always like the goal, really. Put yourself in that mindset, and just because you're going to shoot your best score in that moment, in that mindset. But I've been really thinking about like the feels of the game that I had from high school and even before high school, like trying to dumb it down to that much. Like, just what was the swing when you didn't know any better? You just swung. It was your swing.
Yeah.
So there's just like, it's not like I had swing thoughts back then or anything. And like, but there's a couple things I remember when I got off, I would think about, and I've been trying to recreate those and stuff. And I've been having some success. I got a golf net in the garage, and I got a mirror hung up, and honestly, I haven't been on the course very much on purpose. Kind of back to Illinois days, we'd spend 3 months in what was the golf attic. I don't know if you remember that downtown.
Yeah. Oh, I remember it.
And you didn't see a ball fly. You worked on your golf. You didn't have the negative consequence, because when you work on your golf swing, it's probably not pretty for the first like month or something.
See that?
Working on something. So I've been like spending a lot of time in the garage and just like really putting the golf club where I want and getting the feels that I want. And I've played golf here and there. I played a Monday qualifier up at the RSM without playing golf in like 8 days, just sitting in the garage, and shot 4 under or something, and like, or 3 under, and it was like a good 3 under. It's like, it wasn't like slapping it around. I was hitting good golf. Well, this is like there's something building here.
Yeah, well, that's good. We're joined by Luke Guthre here on Schuck on a Truck, the Zoom edition, brought to you by Refreshment Services Pepsi. Has fatherhood affected the way you approach the game? Has it allowed you to relax a little bit, knowing that, hey, when the day's over, I get to go home and hang out with the little guy?
Definitely, it's affected a lot of things. Like when he was first born, like I didn't say it out loud, but I thought to myself, just like, whatever this balance is going to be between golf and being a father and a husband and family now growing, I want to err on the side of family and walk it back to the proper spot. So I probably didn't work hard enough, but it wasn't it wasn't like a lazy don't work hard enough. I just wanted to err on the side of family. And I've feel like I'm balancing that better and better as my son's now 2 years old. So I've had time to kind of refine that and kind of figure out how to practice, when to be best when I'm there and get every minute out of it that I can. I feel like that's one of the big things that fatherhood does for a lot of golfers is when you practice, you can't just go to the course for 8 hours and just hang out and like get 3 hours out of 8 hours of like good, serious practice that like really furthers you, like competitive practice in your mind and stuff and challenges. Where if I go for 3 hours, the goal is all 3 hours of it. Every shot matters. Every shot, something's on the line. You're uncomfortable. You're creating situations where you're a little uncomfortable, whether playing a game with yourself or a game with somebody else. And I think that's where fatherhood really changes practices and the outlook on things like that.
How much does Caitlin help with that? And obviously, Caitlin, your wife. So people who didn't know who Caitlin was, but the fact that she's been through it with you, she's caddied for you. She plays golf, played golf and collegiately, and all those things. She's a mother now. Does she help you balance that as well?
Definitely. She tells me to go a lot. She's like, go practice, go. I got this. Like, so she's always encouraging me to, and she's just been like through this tougher time in golf, like when it's not that I haven't been trying like to figure it out and just can't figure it out, can't put my thumb on it. And she knows the game. She knows how like it's not just as simple as stop doing that. And sometimes it is, but so she's been very encouraging and like supportive and just I know how good you are. I know you got this. I know it's been tough, but like don't lose faith. Like you got it. Come on. Like so it's amazing to have somebody in your corner who really understands golf and like that it can be lonely out there. Like when you feel exposed when you're not playing good golf and that's the thing I love about golf. You can't blame anybody else. Nobody can save you, but it makes the good times amazing. It makes the down times a little more tough and you got nobody else to look at but yourself. And you got to really like have a lot of self-discipline and like analyze the situation objectively of how to get better. And that's something I need to continue to get better at is being like really figuring out what I need to do, like the little maintenance things in my golf to do. But Caitlin's amazing, supporting, and like when she caddied, like she kind of wanted to stay out of it. And I gave her veto power. I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna talk through like what I'm thinking on every shot. And if I say something that just doesn't make sense, please tell me you're an idiot. Don't do that. Yeah. Club out of my hand or something. I think she did it once actually.
Yeah.
But
does she have veto power at home too?
Always.
Good answer.
Yeah. That was unspoken.
Yeah, that's right. You sound like a married man. Beyond Caitlin, you have always had great family support. And I know they still continue to be that rock for you. Beyond that, you still have Quincy support. What does that mean to you to know that your hometown is still rooting for you and watching what you do and wanting updates on how your career is going?
It is, especially in these last couple of years. Like the support when things were going well. I still remember the John Deere 2012, that final round on the first tee. And it's just like, there's so many people there. The first 3 rounds are, I don't know, 75 to 100 people from Quincy that drove up to watch. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. And then that Sunday, I don't know how many people were there.
There were a lot.
There were a lot. And it was such a cool moment. I remember how nervous I got on that first tee. Like, and until my name got announced and there's like a roar, and I turned around, it's like, whoa. But that was something. And yeah, but it means even more in like these down times to have my friends, high school friends and high school teammates still asking how I'm doing, curious about like the pursuit that I'm on. Like, and then friends from the Tri-State Pro-Am and Westview from back in the days, from you, Schuck. And it's just, it means a lot to have. It's always cool to be there when things are going well, but to have so many people and have the town of Quincy, it feels like, behind me when it's not going well, it really shows the true character of everyone there.
When you have that much support and you go into an off season like you're in now, trying to get the game better, trying to get back to what you want to do, does it allow you to take a deep breath and go, I'm okay. I can get through this. I can do this. I know I got people backing me. We're good. Let's enjoy this off season and be ready come January, February when I tee it off again.
Definitely. There's like when August ended and like I had finals to look forward to, but my off season began, like I took a few weeks off to kind of just think about like those high school days and like the feels and like how do I get there? First of all, what were the feels? What am I trying to achieve? What's the goal? What's going to do it? And then like, what's the process of it? And then try to implement that. And there's definitely like in a good way, not a pressure I feel from family and friends, or from community, that I need to shoot 66s to be worthy as a person. Self-esteem is attached to golf. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but that's where I'm at in life. Like, my self-esteem isn't tied to the game of golf. Like, don't get me wrong. After a round, if I don't play well, don't talk to me for 20, 30 minutes. Like, I'm not happy. That is that is my livelihood right there. I didn't enjoy being bad today. Give me take a breather. But my 22-year-old self, like, my day was ruined until I got back on that golf course to redo it, like to make it right. And that's not the case. I get to go home to Caitlin and Ford and get to be a dad. And first of all, I don't get to be like licking my wounds when I get to go see my son, and I don't want to be too. Yeah. So it's been
probably the big thing with that is when you come home or, come off the course, and if you've had a bad day, Ford doesn't care what you shot.
No, he comes running
to see you.
Yeah. And it's pretty amazing to have that.
Yeah.
And getting to the age where I walk through the door, or I'll leave, he'll watch me leave and be like, Daddy, work. And like, I get back and he yells my name and comes running and gives me a hug. And it's like, this is the best. Like, this is amazing. But yeah.
Well, and we're in that holiday season. I've got to figure that he's just giddy all as can be, starting to really understand what Christmas is about.
He hasn't put the whole picture together, but he's here and there just like getting so excited. Like, we put our tree up and like we gave him ornaments, and like he's just like fired up. He's telling us where to put them, and now every time he walks down, every ornament out that he hung up, we had like a Christmas cookie party with friends and my brother, and like he's fired up. He's like, cookie party, like and talking about his cousin and all that. And like we go see lights, and he's, oh wow, like this is so cool. So it's really fun. We're excited for Christmas this year to see this. I feel like it's maybe not totally, like next year is going to be our really first year. sees the presence and it's just like mind blown, but like there's going to be an element of it this year.
Right.
So we're fired up.
Well, I know you've already had him on the golf course with you.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's got to be fun, just because, I mean, he's out running around on a golf course, you know, where you love to be.
Yeah.
And just being a kid.
Yeah, it is amazing. He's around the game obviously a lot.
Yeah.
Like I have a golf net in the garage and he loves it. If he walks out, he grabs his plastic. He uses it more than I do. He's got his plastic clubs there and he's got his tee and like he loves teeing it up and just whacking it. And he's something, but he loves the golf course. Like he just loves going out there and just loves running around. And like he really grasped the concept of it last time. I actually played five holes with him in a golf cart. And like he would get out and get on the tee and start whacking it around. He calls it kabooms. These are big kabooms. But then we got green and he started putting the ball and like trying to put it in the hole. And like, oh, you're getting it. Like,
yeah.
I haven't tried to. Neither of us have tried to like not encourage golf. Like, but
yeah, he's still 2.
I'm like, there's something about him. I think he might be a golfer. He's like, he's got so much focus and passion for his age, and like he can really do one thing for a long time. And like, my golly, like he could go 2 hours and just hit it around and not stop. And they're just like, who are you?
Well, the fact that he loves being on the golf course brings me to my next question is, even though you've had some struggles, do you still love being on the golf course?
More than ever, honestly. Like during season when like this past year and the year before when it's bad and it's just I love golf but I love being a competitor. So I love being at the golf course for the golf part, but I hate being at the golf course when I'm not playing well.
Yeah.
On the competitive side. Like it just feels like it's just like I'm starving this side of me that like I just have so much faith in myself that I'm going to make putts when like I need to make it to win a golf tournament. And when's the last time I had a putt like that? And it's just like that side of me is like almost resents going in a way, but then like I look forward to the off season even more because it's just fun golf.
Right.
I look forward to that time taking my son to the golf course and just running around. I'm hitting balls like just for the pure enjoyment of the game and just the strike of a golf ball, just how good that feels. And I'm just playing with buddies. Like I have lined up 2 p.m. tee time this afternoon with a neighbor and another Corn Ferry pro, and we're just going to go have fun. Like sure, there'll be some little wagers here and there, but it's about having fun. It's about camaraderie and stuff. So I really enjoy those moments more than ever.
I know you can't tell us like exactly when you're going to play next year. You got to wait and see how that all shakes out. But are you starting to look forward to that opportunity to get back on the course in a competitive way?
Definitely. Like the like our access summary, our commitment sheet just got made live, and like could kind of start seeing where you're falling. Now, obviously, everyone hasn't signed up yet, so you're kind of guessing. But it looks like I have a decent chance in Bogota, Colombia. Okay. Like I'm already out of the Bahamas ones, the first 2, and there's no Monday qualifiers. So that's basically, I assumed that. Like those are small fields. Like early in the year, we're fighting daylight. 156 is a bowl field. Right. Bahamas 132. So I knew I wasn't going to get those. But Bogota's 156 because we play 2 golf courses. So I have I think I'm 30 in there right now. We'll see how that plays out. And COVID, I saw they just required the vaccine. So that's going to make some people not go and stuff. So we'll see in Panama, like, do you really want, if you have a guaranteed full year, do you want to go risk going there and testing positive and being quarantined in Panama for 14 days? Do you want to, and I'm sure a few people are going to think about not going if they have 25 events guaranteed right behind that.
Right.
So that might go to my advantage, kind of keeping an eye on that. But I might have a chance. That's February. Yeah. Other than that, I'm going to have to rely on sponsor exemptions and Monday qualifiers probably until May. And that's when my number is going to kick in. Okay. But well, if I start early, I can play well and shuffle in. And that's huge.
Yeah. Well, at least you know you're going to have an opportunity.
Yes.
And that was the key to the Corn Ferry Finals, of getting into that and guaranteeing yourself an opportunity. Now you just got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly. And what's huge, you're still in the system if you make it to finals. Like if you Monday qualify and finish 70th and make money at all, like you're going to jump everyone that hasn't. And I mean, that's going to be 60 guys. So now you're playing a full year just because you got into the system. Like, I mean, that's step one, that's second stage. That's the most intense tournament you'll ever play. I think a lot of people would think the second stage over finals. Like second stage means your golfing career is delayed for a year. You kind of don't have hope almost. Like you have to, if you get an event, you have to win for it to really mean something as far as making PGA Tour the following year. Where if you make it, there's multiple routes to get full season golf.
Yeah. Well, that second stage, you're playing for your life.
Yes. Yeah. You're playing for a job. It's a job interview.
Yeah. It's funny you say it like that, but it truly is.
Yes.
It's like any person that goes and wants to get a job.
Yep.
Similar scenario.
There's 80 guys lined up there for about 15 spots. Like,
yeah.
So you're standing in the waiting room hoping you get the call. But
there are a lot of younger golfers now coming through here who are paying attention to your career. And one that I chatted with recently, who's now a sophomore at Hannibal High School, Quinn Thomas, who won a state championship last year over in Missouri.
Yeah.
Who are watching your career, following your career and going, I want to be the next Luke Guthrie, to come from this area and have success. The fact that you've grinded through, you've had the good times, you're grinding through the bad times and still coming out ahead, opportunity to play, fighting through it. How much do you think that impacts the next generation of golfers to know, hey, you can struggle and fight through it?
Oh, definitely. I hope it inspires people, and like this like shows the reality of it. There's a lot of good golfers out here, and I remember Coach Small said early on and multiple times, just golf's a marathon, not a sprint. And like I feel like I've been taught both those lessons pretty well by the game of golf. Like to come out of college and just have the success I had is not real. Like it was, and like I had a great opportunity in front of me. If I would have just kept going, like I would have got into that top 50 in the world kind of status. And that there's kind of barriers of entry in golf. Like, and if you crack one, you're kind of allowed some back golf for a second, like without like falling a level. And I was close to cracking that like top 50 in that moment, but that's kind of the sprint, and golf taught me that marathon. And I feel like I believe in my abilities, and I believe in the longevity of like my game, and that I can still be very successful on the PGA Tour. I believe that with all my heart. And I'm hoping this is just the marathon being taught to me about the game of golf. And I hope that is what kids from the area see. Like if you're obviously you got to do the work and get good, you need to have the success here and there to really believe and see with your eyes that this is attainable. But also like this is a game of golf. Nobody gets out of this. Like Tiger has had bad moments like on the golf course. Like it's gonna happen. You got to throw yourself in the arena, and you know what? And you're gonna be exposed, and you're gonna get made to look like a fool a few times, but pick yourself up and just keep throwing yourself in there.
Well, I've had a blast over the years following your career and getting the opportunity to be on the course with you, whether it's high school, little people's, or PGA. And I'll make you a promise, like I did 14 years ago. Get back on the PGA Tour, I'll be there.
Heck yeah, I can't wait for that moment. So that it's gonna happen.
It will. Well, I think everybody's got faith in you, and certainly I do, and can't wait to see it happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be all worth it. So,
and you know, who knows? Maybe someday we write the Luke Guthrie book and let everybody know what happened.
Yeah, right. All the tough moments that make it like so worth it, and all the good moments, and it's just it's a journey I wouldn't change. I tell you that. Like it's taught me a lot of lessons, like these downtimes of what's important, what's priorities, and you learn like the old saying, you learn who's your real friends. And like the thing that's coolest is I feel like nobody's left. So I feel like all my friendships have been genuine, and I'm so lucky for that. Through my whole life, like my high school friends, my college friends, and at Westview and all that, like everybody's been so it's just been a genuine relationship. So everybody's still around, and it's awesome.
Awesome, dude. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to catch up with me. Best
Definitely.
of luck, obviously, moving forward, and hope you and the family have a wonderful holidays.
Thank you, Schuck. Love being on.
Awesome, buddy. Appreciate it. We'll do it again. Well, and next time, maybe we can find a way to do it on the tailgate of the truck.
Yes, definitely. That'll make it even better.
Awesome. For Luke Guthre, I'm Matt Schuckman. This has been Schuck on a Truck, the Zoom edition, brought to you by Refreshment Services Pepsi.
We get out, fired up, hook big ones. We get out and rip it, and we track them down. So crack a Mountain Dew, get out and do.
Another rock and roll weekend.
Burgers, better with Pepsi.